All right, everyone. Welcome to our Friday Flow Deep Stretch Workout. As you know, I'm Katie. I'm happy to be here today. Just make sure you're listening to your body, listening to yourself, and doing what you need. And we're going to get a nice, relaxing flow going. So we'll go ahead and start in our standing position on our mat, feet in a comfortable, about hip width apart position, arms down by our sides. And we're going to start with that breathing focus. As I like to do, it gets us centered into our workout. So we'll go ahead and begin in our standing position. I want you to place your hands on your belly, okay? So we can really try to get that breath deep into our stomachs, expanding the rib cage. We're going to do 3 rounds of our box breathing. Remember, we'll inhale for 4 through our nose, hold at the top for 4, and then we will exhale through our mouths for 4 seconds. We'll go ahead and begin. So our hands are on our stomachs. Inhale. We'll hold here. And big exhale through our mouths. Good. We'll keep it going. 1 more round or 2 more rounds here. Inhale. Hold at the top. And exhale. Good. Just slowly, we're feeling our heart rates kind of descend. And get nice and relaxed and focused. 1 more round. Inhale. Holding at the top. And exhale. Letting all that tension go here. Go ahead and release those arms. We'll let our hands go down by our sides. And we will do some shoulder circles here. So remember, we're going to relax our arms. Staying in that standing position, feel free to just keep our eyes forward, nose forward. And we'll go ahead and roll those shoulders up to our ears, back to the wall, down to the floor, and forward. Just nice, big, slow shoulder circles, shoulder rolls. Might feel some tension in our back area or our neck. As I've mentioned before, it's where we hold a lot of our stress. It's good to just roll it out. We'll keep going with those backward shoulder circles. Nice and slow. No need to go for a fast circle here. Just mobilizing that shoulder girdle. Let's keep it going here for about 15 more seconds, and then we'll switch. Still inhaling through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Go ahead and switch those circles. So we'll push those shoulders forward now, down to the ground, back to the wall, up to the sky. Forward shoulder rolls. Keep going here. Nice. Just loosening up, feeling that tension release. Go for a few more here. Last big inhale and exhale. Let it all out. Good. Let's give those shoulders a rest. Shake it out, wiggle it out. We'll keep our feet hip width apart, toes facing forward. We're going to go ahead and raise our arms at the shoulder level here. We're going to keep our hips neutral, so facing forward, and we're just going to slowly twist our torso left to right. Nice, slow twist here. As I said, we're keeping our hips stationary. They're not really moving or rotating with our body, but we're just twisting our rib cage and shoulders. Left to right, nice and slow. Once again, centering to that breath. Maybe we'll inhale as we twist to the right, we'll exhale as we twist to the left. Anything to center back to the breath is a good practice.
Stacy, not Stacy, I'm sorry. Katie, is our head turning with our upper torso when we do the turn?
Yes,
Are we also turning our head?
Yep, head will turn with your shoulders. So our nose will go left to right with our rib
Okay.
cage
All
and
right.
shoulders.
Just wanted to
Thanks,
be sure.
Trisha.
Thank you, Katie.
You bet. So for just a few more seconds here. And let's go ahead and release that. Come back to center. Let our arms wiggle down by our sides. Let's step our feet out nice and wide, wider than our shoulders. We're going to keep our toes pointing forward. We're in a nice extended position here. We're going to go hands on our hips. We're going to slightly push our hips towards the back wall behind us, so a hinge position. And then we're just going to rock into the right leg. My left toes are going to turn up to the sky. It's kind of a side lunge position here, but not going too hard. We just want to feel a stretch in the inner thigh. We'll come back to center, and then we'll lean into that left leg as well. And my right toes will turn up. Hands on my hips, just slowly going left to right, feeling a nice inner thigh stretch. Next, we'll keep it here for just a little bit longer. And it's your body, it's your stretch, right? So we'll go as deep as we have. Everybody's a little different. Let's go for a few more breaths here. And last one here. Go ahead and step our feet back together, about hip width apart. Now we're going to go for some hamstring scoops. For these, we'll go ahead and step our right foot out in front of us. Our heel's going to go down to the ground. Our toes are going to face up. I'm going to take my arms and slowly trace down that right leg all the way down. If I can reach my heel or my toes, I will. If I can reach my calf, I'll stay there. My hips push back and slowly scooping down that leg. And we'll inhale, slowly rise up again. Exhale, scooping down that leg again. Really feeling a nice stretch in the entire back of the right leg. Inhale as we come up. Exhale, reaching down the leg. Might feel some tension here. I definitely do. Hamstrings can get sore pretty easily. Just a nice gentle scoop. Seeing if with every exhale as you reach down the leg, if you can get a little bit further than before. Once again, being gentle. Go 2 more breaths. Last one here. Beautiful. Once we come back up, our torso's back up. Let's step our right foot back under our right hip. And now we'll take that left foot out, step it out in front of us, left heel down onto the ground, toes pointing up. And once again, we'll just take that big inhale. Trace the arms, hands down the left leg now, reaching towards those heels and toes, keeping the leg as straight as possible. A little bit of bend in the knees, okay? Hamstring scoops. Remember, inhaling at the top. Exhale, slowly reaching down that leg. Feeling a nice stretch in the entire back of the left leg now. Excellent. Remember, we're centering back to that breath. It's a great skill to practice in any point of life. It doesn't have to be during a workout to be able to focus on your breathing. Keep scooping the hamstring. We'll go for just a few more here. Beautiful. Last one here. And let's step that left foot back under our left hip. Come back to that neutral standing position. Feet hip width apart, arms down by our sides. We're going to do some of our deep neck stretches. So we'll go ahead and take our right ear, put it down towards our right shoulder. My nose is still facing forward. I'm just getting a nice stretch in that left side of my neck as my right ear comes to my right shoulder. Option to take our right hand and put it on our left shoulder. Kind of separate our left shoulder from our head. Nice deep stretch in that left trapezius muscle. We always have the option to add a little movement here as well. We can nod our head very gently. Yes. Chin down. And head back. This one's always a necessary one for me. I have very tense neck muscles. If you have a desk job, it's definitely one I would keep in the library. A few more breaths. Let's go ahead and release that shoulder. Let our arm fall back down by our sides. Head's going to come back up to neutral, right in the middle. And let's take our left ear down to left shoulder. And we're stretching that right side of the neck. Option to take the left hand and push that right shoulder down away from our head. Just to get a little deeper in that stretch. Adding our nodding movement if we feel. Otherwise, just holding gently. Breathing into our bellies. Good. Feeling with every breath, our muscles loosening up just a little bit more. Beautiful. Got 3 more breaths here. And let's release that left hand down. Heads back to center. Roll it out, shake it out if we need to. And let's bring ourselves down to the mat in a kneeling position. My knees are down on the mat. My calves and feet are trailing behind me. We're going to go from here. We'll step our right foot out in front of us. So I'm in kind of a lunge position down on the mat. From here, I'm going to shift my hips forward into that right leg, right hip. A nice deep lunge here. Option to hold a wall, a chair, or we can rest our hands on that right leg. Or if we have it, we can bring our hands down to the mat as well. Deep lunge position. Should feel a very good stretch in that left hip. Might be a little intense. As I've mentioned before, if you're sitting quite frequently, which all of us, most of us are, you're going to get tension in those hip flexors. So we want to just do this pretty regularly to open them up, loosen them up. Remember, with each exhale, we're trying to get those hips just a little bit deeper. Option for those of you who have their hands down on the mat to take that right arm, right hand, place it or slowly take it up overhead as we open our torso up to the right side. So my nose is facing to the right. My right arm is up in the sky as I'm still in this deep lunge position. We call this T-spine rotation, thoracic spine. And you can either leave it up there, option to stay there, or you can add some reps. So taking our hand back down to the mat and then up to the sky. Continue to breathe, continue to exhale, sink into those hips. A few more breaths. And let's slowly walk our hands back or sink our hips back behind us, leaving that right leg out in front of us. Our heel's going to come down to the mat. Our toes point up and our leg extends. Runner's lunge, nice stretch in the back of our right leg. Once again, you have lots of options for your hands, either a wall or a chair, our leg, or the mat. It took me a long time to get the flexibility to come down to the mat, so it is trained. If we practice, we can get there. And if there's a slight bend in that right knee, that is okay. We want to make sure we're protected. And we don't want the stretch to ever hurt. We just want it to feel. A few more breaths here. Let's bring that right knee back to us. So we'll have right knee under right hip, back in that kneeling position, and we're going to switch it out. We're going to step our left foot out in front of us. It's going to be flat on the mat in that kneeling lunge position. Once again, we're slowly sinking the hips down towards the mat, into that left leg now. Deep lunge, hip flexor stretch, feeling that stretch in front of the right hip now. Placing our hands wherever is comfortable to feel that stretch in the hip. And breathing. Nice, and just hold it here. I'm feeling lots of tension in the hips, so this is one I needed today for sure. Hopefully, some of you can say the same. Focusing on that inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And those of you who want the option to take that left hand up overhead, opening the torso and head to the left side for that rotation. Few more breaths. Good. And let's take our hips back, leaving our left leg out in front of us, extending the leg. So my heel is going to come down to the mat or slant down. My toes are going to point up. Now my left leg is fully extended in that runner's lunge position, feeling that stretch in the hamstring group, back of the leg. Feel free to add a gentle rock here, kind of pointing the toes and rocking the heel back and bringing them towards you. As I say, every movement we add will be gentle. You never want to make it too intense or quick. Just adding a little extra movement, a little spice. Go 2 more breaths. Beautiful. And let's bring that left leg back. Left knee under left hip, healing position on the mat. And let's bring our hands down to the mat in our tabletop position. My fingers are nice and wide and spread out, so I have a good grip on the mat. My wrists, elbows, and shoulders are stacked. My legs are trailing behind me. From here, we're going to go into those cat-cows, so those hip shifts. We're going to inhale, arching the back, pulling the hips up to the ceiling, nose up to the ceiling. Holding for just a second. Feel free to add a little left to right rock with the hips. And then we're going to do that big exhale, rounding the back, tucking the hips, pushing away from the palms. And we'll go for a few more rotations here. Inhale. Nose points up. Back is arching. Exhale, rounding the back, pushing away from the palms, tucking the hips. Cat-cow is a great hip mobility exercise. Another great one to focus on the breath with. Good. Remember to add that left and right rock back and forth if we feel it. Just another added motion that's an option. I always like to add movement where I can. Beautiful. From here, let's go ahead and get back to that neutral tabletop position right in the middle. We're going to walk our knees out to the sides of the mat, keeping our hands planted. We're going to slowly sink back to our heels. So my hips are coming back to my heels, sitting on my feet in child's pose. So I'm going to walk my hands out a little bit further away from my body. We're just going to hold it here. See how far away we can walk our fingers. Really opening up the back, latissimus dorsi muscle. Another great one to open the hips with is this child's pose here. And something If this pose is a little difficult, I always recommend placing, say if you don't have the knee mobility, I recommend placing a pillow between your knees or between your thigh and your calf, just to kind of sit back on the pillow. It'll take a little tension away. Feels good. Let's walk our fingers, hands to the left side of our mat. Stretching that right side of the body. And bringing it back to breath. Remember to breathe. It's easy to hold our breath in some of these positions. The goal is to breathe through it, get a deeper stretch. Now let's walk our fingers and hands over to the right side of our mat. Getting that left side stretch. A few more breaths. And let's walk our hands back to the center here. All right. From here, we're going to leave our hands out in front of us, but we're going to raise our hips up. Now we're kind of in a half tabletop. So my arms are still down on the ground, but now my hips have raised up. So this is going to be that puppy pose. So my hips are up and my hands are still out in front of me here. Option to stay here and get some breaths, or we will tuck our toes, bring our knees off the mat, send our hips up to the sky for the down dog. So we have two options. We have that puppy pose where our knees are still planted on the mat and our hips are up to the sky and our arms are extended out in front of us, kind of like a half child's pose, down dog combo. Or our hips are up, our knees are up, and we're in the down dog here.
Where's our head if we're in puppy pose?
What was that?
Where is our head if we're in puppy pose?
Head is going to be between the shoulders. So our arms are extended out in front of us, hands on the mat, like in a child's pose. And our head is just neutral between those arms that are extended. So resting.
Should my feet be on the floor?
Yep. If you're in puppy pose, yep, feet will be on the floor. The only thing that is raised is the hips. So imagining it's a child's pose, but instead we've walked our arms out a little further and our hips are up in the sky. And our knees are still planted and our feet are still on the floor. Good. From either of these positions, let's take our right knee and bring it up between our hands and let our left leg trail behind us. Now we're in a pigeon pose. And our our torso is somewhat folded over that right leg. If you have the flexibility, you can get a parallel shin in front of you. I don't quite have that mobility or flexibility, so I just keep my right leg folded underneath my torso, and my left leg is trailing behind me. My hands are on either side of my knee, my right knee that's folded. Option to come down to your forearms here. Feeling the stretch in the right glute. Good. Just taking a few breaths here. Optional rock side to side. Slow and controlled. Once again, if you don't have that knee mobility to kind of bend over it, I always recommend placing like a towel or a pillow, anything kind of under your hips between your knee to support. I had a bad knee injury in 2019, so I wasn't able to fold like this. Pillow helps. Let's go ahead, shift that knee back. We'll come back to a puppy pose or a down dog, whatever you prefer. Take a big inhale, and then we'll exhale. Now we'll bring that left knee up between our hands, still down on the mat. My right leg trails behind me on the mat. Options, just stay here with our hands on either side of our left knee, or to come down to our forearms. Taking those big breaths. Now we're feeling the stretch in that left glute area. More breaths. Option to add a little head and neck movement. We can do circles if we like. We can go left to right. Yes and no. Let's go 2 more breaths. Excuse me. And let's shift back into that down dog or puppy pose. Take one big inhale and bring ourselves back to a tabletop or kneeling position. Beautiful. We are going to come into our seated flow. So let's bring our bottom onto the mat. So now we are sitting on the mat. My feet, my legs are extended out in front of me. My heels are down on the floor. My toes are pointed up to the ceiling. And my torso is upright. Very good posture, of course. My shoulders are rolled back. My nose is pointing forward. From here, we're going to widen out our legs. So in a nice, legs are outside of my hips, and I'm seated. From here, we'll go ahead and take a big inhale. We're going to raise our arms up overhead. We're going to exhale, lean our torso and our arms towards our left foot. And we're going to hold here, whether we make it to our shin, our knee, or our toes. You just want to make sure that right arm is kind of tucked by your right ear as you're reaching for your left foot. Might feel a nice stretch in the right mid to lower back. And also in the back of the left leg. Kind of a 2-for-1 special. And so we're just holding it, we're breathing. We're reminding ourselves of things we're grateful for. Go 3 more breaths here. And on this next inhale, let's go ahead and release. Bring our body back to center, arms overhead. Exhale, and then we're going to inhale again. Exhale, leaning the body over now to that right leg, right foot. My left arm is tucked by my left ear, really reaching over my head to try to get to that right knee, shin, forefoot, wherever we have it. Once again, feeling that nice stretch in that mid to low back and the right leg. And we're breathing. As I mentioned, some of these, it's easy to hold your breath on accident. I just caught myself doing it, so make sure we're breathing. Few more breaths here. On this next inhale, let's bring ourselves up, back to center. Exhale, let our arms fall. And let's bring those feet and legs back together, out in front of us on the mat. So both my right and left leg are extended, my feet are together. From here, I'm gonna take my right leg, I'm gonna hug my knee in to my chest. Give my right knee a big hug. I'm so thankful for it. And we have the option to stay here in that knee hug position, or we can step the right foot over the left knee, adding a little bit of more of a twist and opening our body up to the left side. So now my nose is pointing to the left. I have my right arm behind me just for support, my left arm, and my right arm is hugging my right knee into my chest. Barbie on the beach. Feeling that stretch in that right glute area. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Good. With every time we do this stretch, we might get a little more motion than the time before. That's what we want. It's trained. Let's take a big inhale. Step our right foot back over the knee, and we will exhale, extend that right leg back out in front of us. Heel planted, toes up. Let's take our left foot, bring it in to our chest, left knee, left foot, giving it a big hug. And once again, we're remembering our posture is important here. So keeping our shoulders back, trying to avoid that rounding that we do so often. So option to stay here just with the left knee hug to the chest, or we'll step the left foot over the right knee, hooking the knee in with our left arm, bringing our right arm back for support. Now feeling that stretch in the left glute. And sitting up nice and tall, breathing. Remember, we have that thread. It's tied to the center of our top of our head. It's kind of pulling us to the ceiling. Good. Let's go for a few more breaths. Let's take a big inhale. Exhale. We'll release that leg back out in front of us on the mat. We'll shake it out if we need to in our shoulders. Let's go ahead into our butterfly. So we'll pull both of our feet in closer to our body. We're going to bring the bottoms of our feet and put them together and let our knees naturally fall to the left and right sides of our body. Using our hands to kind of hold our feet gently, guide them towards us. Everyone has a different range here as well. Some people can completely fold to the floor. Some people get a slight lean. Some of us just stay upright. Everything is good. As long as we're feeling the stretch in our inner thigh. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Kind of walked us through those folding options. If you decide to stay sitting upright, make sure we're pulling the shoulders back. You can add a little motion with your head and neck, just drawing some circles. Anything to loosen up the tension. Good. We'll keep it here just a little longer. Taking care of our hips. About 2 more breaths. Let's release that butterfly. We'll extend the legs back out in front of us on our mat and slowly bring ourselves down to a lying position. So lying on our backs. Legs are extended. Corpse pose, my arms are down by my sides. Just holding it here for a second. Kind of feel ourselves melt into the mat. Tucking, bringing our belly button to our spine, into the mat. Taking just a couple breaths here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. From here, let's take our right knee. We're going to hug it up towards our chest. Now we're doing that same thing, but now we're laying. My right knee is hugged. Both of my arms are hugging it in. My left hip stays planted in the mat. We don't want it to rise up. We want to keep our left hip planted, left heel planted. Option to just stay here or draw some circles with your toes and ankles. To the right, nice and slow. It feels so good to just lay down in the middle of the day. We need it. Our body's thanking us. Let's switch the direction of those ankle circles. Big inhale. Big exhale. Go ahead and pause those ankle circles. Now we're going to pump that ankle. So we're going to pull the toes towards our shin. We're going to point them away from our shin. All while we're hugging the knee in. Just giving our ankles a little motion. You might even feel them getting tired from doing some of this motion. That's okay. Take a break if we need it. Last breath. Let's release that right leg back down to the mat. And let's take our left leg, show it some love. Hug it into our chest. Where our right hip stays planted. We don't want to rotate to that left side. Keep our right hip planted down on the mat. Left heel, or right heel planted. My left knee's hugged to my chest, and I'm going to draw those ankle circles to the right. Keeping our knee stationary. Only thing that's moving is those ankles and toes. I guess the foot. Whatever's between the ankles and toes. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let's switch directions with those circles. Now we're going to the left. And just noticing things about our body. Maybe our left ankle doesn't move as fast as our right one. That's something I notice. Maybe you feel more soreness in one than the other. We just want to notice our bodies, not judge it, just notice. Let's pause our circles. And we'll go for that toes pointing to our shin, toes pointing away from our shin. And with each movement, just trying to tie breath to it. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go ahead and release that left leg back down. And now we'll bring both of our legs, both of our knees. So we're hugging them both into our chest. We're kind of in a ball position. And as we're hugging both knees into our chest, we're just going to slowly, gently rock left to right with our lower back. So kind of massaging that lower back out. We're going left to right, massaging that lower back ever so gently. Go ahead and add some circles. So, drawing a circle with our lower back in the mat to the right. And let's switch directions. Going to the left with those low back circles. And let's go back to just rolling it left to right as our knees are hugged into our chest. And let's release. Legs back down in front of us. We're in a lying corpse position. Let's go ahead and we're going to flex our right foot. Bring our right leg up to the sky. So I'm in a nice straight position here. I'm going to lower my right foot over to the left side. So now I'm in kind of a lying twist position. We can have a slight bend in the knee. Some of us might be able to get our knee all the way down to the floor. Some might be hovering just a little bit. Just make sure we're supported. We're not in any uncomfortable position. You might want a towel or a pillow. Now we're in a nice lying twist here. Option to take that right arm out from our right shoulder and turn our nose to face that right hand as we're in this twist. And taking nice deep breaths here. Feel yourself just melt into the floor. Few more breaths. Go ahead and roll back to center, bringing that right leg back to center and letting it fall back out in front of us. Now we'll take that left leg up towards the ceiling. It can be fully extended or have a slight bend in the knee. We're going to take it over to the right side. My left knee comes to the right side. My left arm will extend out from my left shoulder. I'm going to turn my head and nose to face that left hand. Nice lying twist. Once again, noticing, is one side of your body tighter than the other? I definitely noticed that. I have a little more range on one side. So that's something to train. I'm using that right hand as kind of a guide on that left leg, either keeping the knee down to the floor or supporting the knee. Whatever your body needs, listen to it. A couple more breaths here. Trying not to fall asleep. This is really comfortable. If you feel yourself being tense or holding anywhere, try to release it. So one more big exhale here. And let's roll ourselves back to center. Back in that lying position. Let your hands lay by your sides, legs extended out in front of us. Let's take a big inhale. Slowly roll ourselves up into a seated position. Wherever's comfortable, legs out in front of us. Crisscross applesauce, butterfly, whatever you need. Let's take one more big inhale and let it all out, release. Feel all that release of tension in the shoulders, in the hips, wherever we need. Thank our bodies, thank ourselves for showing up today. Give yourselves a pat on the back. I hope we all got a nice deep stretch in today. Thank you for joining us. We'll stop our recording.